From the combined crew of blindandroidusers.com and accessibleandroid.com, it's time for your favorite Android podcast. Kick back now and enjoy another fine episode from these Android fanboys and gals as they navigate Android from a blindness perspective. And now, here's your crew.
Hello and welcome to episode 131 of the Blind Android Users podcast. I'm Ed Green and I'm here today with my co-hosts Warren Carr, Austin Pinto, Fee Dunn, John Dyer and Sally Kunders. And we're coming to you on Saturday the 10th of June 2023. It's a very busy episode for you this week, folks. We start off with our announcements. We then, in our Android Basics section, talk about Android 14 Beta 3, which is very exciting for reasons you'll discover soon. In our Spotlight section, Warren unboxes, then reviews the Mobvoi Tic Watch Pro5. We have a commentary segment from Kareen, and we close with a tip of the week from John Dyer about using reading mode in the background to read an article. Well, I'm coming to you from a very muggy, sticky London today. Fee, presumably it's a bit the same for you, is it?
Yes, it is very, very sticky and muggy. I have been sitting in the garden underneath a parasol and a canopy and in the shade, but I'm indoors now and it's hot. We're due thunder at some point soon, but I thought it was today, but I think now it might be tomorrow, and I do hope we have some rain anyway, and it might clear the air a little bit. I do like summer, but this is a bit humid now. We got up to 32 degrees Celsius earlier, which turns out to be about 90 Fahrenheit, which isn't too bad in itself, but when it's very, very humid, ugh.
Yeah, it's not a dry heat here.
No.
Hopefully we will get thunder. Thunder and lightning, very, very frightening. Someone should turn that into a lyric, really, shouldn't they? And put it in a very long song that's universally overrated. They could do that.
I actually love that song, and it's got awesome harmonies.
That's what I'm saying. It's universally overrated. Everybody loves it, and they shouldn't.
You don't, then?
No. But well, I'm wrong, because everyone else in the world literally does.
Did you just say you're wrong? Can we have that in writing? Everybody, Ed said he was wrong on the 10th of June.
Apparently, yeah, everyone else. I mean, I don't think the caveat is I don't think I should be wrong, obviously, but
I do.
Everyone else. Well,
again and again and again.
They are. Austin, how are you?
So Mumbai is the same temperature as UK. It is 31 degrees, but the humidity is 66%. So here also it's very sticky and muggy, but we are in air condition, so it is very decent now. And rain should have fallen by now, but the cyclone that came in Pakistan has pushed it ahead. But some parts of the village, like village area or towns, are receiving rain. So I don't know. Maybe today, tomorrow it might fall. And enjoying the World WTC, that's the World Test Championship final. And hope India wins, or at least draws the match.
Yeah, I think we all hope India win as well. Good to see Australia start the summer with a defeat, I always think. Well, actually, no, I think it's good to see Australia lose all the time. What we're talking about, starting the summer with a defeat. We always want Australia to lose. So
yeah,
come on.
Because then they
India.
Start sledging. So it's good to see them lose.
Yeah, come on, India. Need you to win this World Test Championship cricket final, please, which is being played in England, interestingly, at the Oval. So whether that's because Australia were already here or we were always scheduled to host it, I don't know. But being played at a neutral venue. John Boy, how are you?
I'm doing good. It was a pretty typical week. Weather's been good. I have no idea what it's like today. I haven't been outside. I did get a new phone this week, though. And it's the last type of phone you'd expect. It's an iPhone SE.
Oh, John, I thought you were joking when you posted that on Telegram.
No, I was serious.
Oh, dear. Why?
I just like to see what the competition has to offer. You know, I like to be fully informed.
But you're only semi-informed because it doesn't support LiDAR. It's not a Pro.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So what's the
exactly.
point of
Like,
having
what's the
such
point
a
of an
lousy
SE?
phone, really?
Like, why? If you're gonna do it, at least get one that does something a bit different.
I'm not using this thing as my
Exactly.
phone. I like to have it to refer to when I want to figure things out or see what iOS and VoiceOver have to offer.
Is
So on
it
and
to
so
help the
forth.
less fortunate on Facebook? So if one of the less fortunates doesn't know how to do something, you can go and have a look and tell them.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good.
That's the
well
one
done.
reason I have mine, because my buddy now and then asks something about it. And I'm like, you know what? I don't use this thing all the time. I hardly use that thing for a minute or two whenever he calls asking about something. It's just absolutely crazy. Not my thing.
Yeah. We should all embark on charitable endeavors to help the less fortunate, though, shouldn't we?
Thank you.
It's very
I
good.
have to say, the Facebook app is better on the iPhone.
No, it's
lot of
not.
other
It breaks
things-
literally all the time. Like, it never, like, they can't comment on stuff. Check-in destinations aren't labeled hardly ever. Like, they're always whinging about it. It's more efficient on the iPhone. I grant you that.
That's what I
'cause-
mean. On the
but it's-
Android phone, you have to keep pressing see more on every single post that's about more than about 3 words. And
But
if
at
they
least
would
it's
just
stable.
fix that on Android.
Here's the thing, Fee. If
Mm.
you're blind, wouldn't you like to be able to see some more? You know what I mean? I would love to see some
yeah,
more.
but I don't want to have to keep pressing a button. I just want it to read me the whole thing to start with.
Yeah.
And it does on the iPhone.
That's horrible. Yeah,
I
I
would like them to fix that. On the Android.
I would like them to fix it. I'd
terrible.
also like not to have a separate actions button next to every post. I would like them to sort that out as well. But at least it's stable. Like iOS, they're always complaining about Facebook. Like, I can't comment in groups. Like, check-in locations aren't labeled. Blah blah. They've broken it again. I don't quite know what goes on. And
Yeah,
sometimes
you
with
would think
Facebook,
that
it's not.
Facebook, who is always touting accessibility, and all of them really, there's absolutely no reason why this thing should be the way that it is. It just doesn't make sense.
But they dizzy.
Facebook,
Yeah.
Facebook just like changing things for the sake of it, though, don't they? They're always
do.
doing it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's not all
their
apps,
version
it's
of
servers.
their
as
version
well
of
changes it.
accessibility is like adding unnecessarily descriptions to like items, like letting us know we can press and hold on something, because in case we've forgotten since the last time we swiped.
I already know, when to
Well,
long
yeah,
press something.
most of us do.
Yeah. Anyway, there's one person we haven't checked in on yet. Sally Kins, how are you?
Well, I'm doing well. I've catched a little cold. I'm recovering from that. This week was absolutely rainy here in the Samsung city. We had a lot of flood in the area, but unfortunately, there's nothing bad, and everybody's safe. And now today's it's around 23 degrees, thunder and lightning, and it's getting exciting in the other part of Turkey. The Champions League final.
Yeah, no, it'll be lively, won't it? I think.
Yeah, sure. It's less than 3 hours, and it's super exciting.
In Samsung's fair city, where the phones are so pretty, John first set his eyes on a Galaxy Fold.
Yeah.
Ah, baby.
Anyway, I do like the fact you've moved to Samsung City. That is very funny.
This is the announcement segment of Blind Android Users Podcast. Stay tuned to hear important information regarding the podcast, surveys, and the latest news.
And now we turn to our announcement section. Austin, have we got anything this week?
We have got a lot of announcement this week. So our YouTube channel crossed 950 subscribers. So that's another milestone crossed. And also John and I are making shorts for the YouTube channel, which are 1 minute tip of the week or tip of the day type of videos. So if you are interested in extra content other than the podcast, then subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our podcast will be uploaded weekly as usual, but we have decided also to make extra content. So stay tuned and subscribe to the channel, and also turn on the notification. That is very important. Otherwise, you will miss out on extra content. And also our website is being fixed slowly. So stay tuned when it's fixed. That time I will let you know, and then you can go out and give your feedback. So last week, the developers of ACR Phone Dialer gave us 5 codes. 2 people entered to win and they have got it. So congratulations to them. And we still have 3 more. So if you have not entered, then please do email us at contactus@blindandroidusers.com and your code will be sent to you.
Thanks very much, Austin.
This is Android Basics, in which we bring you up to date on the things that you should know to use your Android phone.
Now we turn to our Android Basics section. And this week it's all about Android 14 Beta 3, which, as predicted, I think, by Warren, dropped on the 7th of June. He picked 2 dates, as you'll hear in a minute, when it might have dropped. And on Wednesday, sure enough, it arrived. And I'm going to hand over now to Warren to give us a little bit of a preamble and show us what's new.
A few weeks ago, while we were recording one of our episodes, we got to talking about when Android 14 Beta 3 would drop. We speculated that it may be dropping on Monday, June the 5th, or it would be dropping on Wednesday, June the 7th. Sure enough, this past Wednesday, June 7th, it dropped upon us, and that's what we're talking about. Indeed, a lot of the things that are in this version are mainly having to do with visuals, but we're not left in the cold. Besides the privacy matters that have been improved, we've got a couple things that we'll be talking about, and we'll be looking at Android Accessibility version 14, which means we now have a brand new TalkBack in the way of TalkBack version 14. We'll also be talking about the customization on the lock screen. In other words, being able to add items to the lock screen so you don't have to unlock your screen to use those things you want to be able to have access to right from the lock screen. We've got like 7 or so items that you could add, or, choose whatever it is that is of importance to you and add that to your lock screen. I'll be showing you how to go about doing that, but I do want to mention here in passing that as of Beta 3 of Android 14, this has reached what we call the platform stability. In other words, there aren't going to be any new APIs getting introduced. So if you're a developer and you've been waiting to get to this stage before you develop an app that's compatible with Android 14, this is the time to do so, as there won't be any new APIs getting introduced. The last beta is going to come next month, and if Google keeps to its schedule like what it did last year, we'll be seeing a public release of Android 14 in August. Now let's go back and talk about what we wanted to talk about, and we're talking about the customization on the lock screen. I do want to mention that in order to be able to customize this lock screen, you've got a couple ways of doing so. The first one would be to long press, that is double tapping and then holding the lock screen. And at the bottom is a toast message that says something like customized lock screen. This toast only appears for like 5 or so seconds. And if you don't tap on it within those few seconds, it disappears and you'll have to long press again in order to be able to get to it. I will show you both methods, that is from the lock screen itself and as well as from after you unlock the lock screen and gotten to the home screen. Let's go ahead though and get started. I'm going to unlock my phone and we'll start from the lock screen.
9:21 p.m. System.
I am on my lock screen and now I'm going to double tap and hold.
Customize lock screen. Authenticate 46%. Issue
and it says authenticate.
Fingerprint sensor.
And my fingerprint doesn't work too well on this Pixel 7.
Pin unlock. Fingerprint
and so
not recognized.
I'm going to just put in the fake pin that I created, 11111111 6 times.
1 1 1 1 1 1.
Let me see how many ones I got.
2. Pin area. 5 characters. Edit box.
One more.
4 1 1 1.
All right, let's unlock it.
Enter. Wallpaper and style. Lock screen.
There we go. So we are on a screen that says wallpaper and style. At the top, we got a couple tabs. On the left, we got one that says lock screen, and to the right, we hear home screen. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Lock screen.
So we are on lock screen, and by default, the default is the lock screen, and then on the right,
Home screen.
is the home screen. So we're talking about this lock screen. In other words, if I want to add an icon to the bottom of my screen so that I don't have to unlock my screen before I launch that app. Let's say I want to add the camera there, or I want to add the QR code scanner, or one of those things. That's what we're talking about here. Now, scrolling down a little bit toward the middle of the phone, toward the bottom, in the middle, we hear something that has to do with clock, color, and size.
Clock color and size.
We hear clock, color, and size. Below that, from left to right, we got some unlabeled buttons, and those things have to do with the clock size, the color, and then also with like the lock screen images, and they are unlabeled.
Unlabeled.
Move to the right.
Unlabeled.
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 Unlabeled. And then below that, we have wallpapers.
Unlabeled.
And those say unlabeled too, and those are the images that will show on the home screen. But if you tap on one of those, it will activate the wallpapers. And below that, we have more wallpaper.
More wallpapers.
Tap there, it will take you to different categories of wallpapers that you could choose from. The one, though, we want to talk about is that adding the shortcut. So you could launch an app from within the lock screen. Looking toward the bottom on the left, we come across something that talks about shortcut.
Shortcuts. None.
And it says shortcuts, none. So if we tap here, it will show us all the things that are available to adding onto the lock screen. Now, below here, we hear something like
show notifications on the lock screen.
And then all the way at the bottom.
More lock screen options, privacy, now playing, and more.
And if you tap here, you'll see all the different things. Let's go in here quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Some of them are new, especially like the one that will say shortcuts or lock screen shortcuts. And then a lot of them here are just things that you're familiar with. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Lock screen. Navigate up button.
And we got
lock screen.
Move down. We got privacy. And I'm just going to move through these items. And if you hear some noises, I'm sorry, I got like maybe 10 teenagers here at my home this weekend. So I'm just going to go through this and we'll go ahead and then finish what we're talking about.
Add text on lock screen. None. 3 of 12. Use device controls without unlocking your phone. Switch off. 4 of 12. Shortcuts. 5 of 12.
That's the shortcuts that we'll be talking about.
Double line clock. Show double line clock when available. Switch on. 6 of 12. Now playing. Identify songs playing nearby. 7 of 12. When to show. Heading. 8 of 12. Always show time and info. Increased battery usage. Switch off. 9 of 12. Tap to check phone. Off. 10 of 12. Lift to check phone. Off. 11 of 12. Wake screen for notifications. When screen is dark, it turns on for new notifications. Switch off. 12 of 12.
And that's the last one. Now we could scroll back up and tap on the shortcuts or go back to the previous screen. And that's what I'm going to do.
Wallpaper and style.
And now I'm going to find and tap on that shortcuts.
Shortcuts. None.
Shortcuts. None. I tap.
Shortcuts. Back. Button.
Now that we are on this screen, we got two tabs. We got the left screen shortcut and the right screen shortcut just above the items that one could add to the left or to the right bottom part of the lock screen. So in other words, if you add one of these, if you choose the left screen and you choose one of these things, whether it's QR code scanner, the camera, the mute, or the do not disturb, it'll be adding it to the bottom left part of your lock screen. If you choose the right screen, it'll be adding that icon to your right bottom part of the lock screen. Here's what I'm talking about.
Left shortcut. Selected. 1 of 2.
So
in
we
list.
got
2 items.
Left shortcut selected. If I move my finger to the right edge.
Right shortcut. 2 of 2.
Right shortcut is not selected. So by default, anything I add right now will be adding to the bottom left of my lock screen. And these are the items that we have that we could choose from. We've got the following.
QR code scanner. 2 of 8. In list. 8 items.
We got QR code scanner, and to the right of it.
Flashlight. 3 of 8. Device controls. 4 of 8. Wallet, 5 of 8. Mute, 6 of 8. Camera, 7 of 8. Do not disturb, 8 of 8.
And do not disturb. So for example, let's say I want to add camera to the bottom left corner of my lock screen.
Camera, 7 of 8.
All I have to do is tap,
Camera,
and that is added. So when I go to my lock screen, I'll be seeing that camera there at the bottom left corner. Now, if I want to add something to the right corner of my lock screen, now I need to tap on the tab that says right
shortcut, 2 of 2. In
right
list,
shortcut.
2 items.
Tap.
Right shortcut, selected.
So
2 of
right
2.
shortcut is selected. And let's say we want to add
QR code scanner, 2 of 8. In list, 8
QR
items.
code scanner there at the bottom. I tap.
QR code scanner.
And that is added. I do want to mention here that this does not mean that it will show up on your home screen. Rather, it will only be shown on the lock screen. Now I'm going to exit out here and go back home.
Home.
And
Home.
now
Out.
I'm going to go to the lock screen, hit the power button to shut off the phone.
Screen off. Ringer
And now
silent.
I'm going to turn the screen back on.
9:31 p.m. System UI.
Now that I have the screen back on my bottom left, I should find
Camera.
the
Button.
camera. And if I
51% issue
move
with
to the
charging
right
accessory.
edge or swipe to the right,
QR code scanner. Button.
QR code scanner. Now, what I like about these shortcuts
Ringer
is
silent.
that you have to long press in order to activate. So in other words, you're not going to accidentally activate those without intending to do so. You must long press in order to activate. Now, I show you how
9:31
what I'm
p.m.
talking about
System UI.
by long pressing on one of them. Let's say I want to long press on
Camera.
the
Button.
camera.
Off. 0 faces. Camera.
There we go. My
Camera
camera
settings.
got
Open up.
launched.
Lock screen.
Now
No-
let's move on to the second
51%
method,
issue with
and
charging.
I'm going to unlock
Boost
my
pin
screen,
unlocked. Enter your pin.
and I'm going to put that 111111 6 times again to unlock. I use that fake locking code.
1 1 1 1 1 1 1.
I believe I have 6 of them rather.
Pin area. 6 characters. Edit box.
All
Select.
right, now let's activate.
Enter. Device locked. Enter your
There
pin.
we go. We
Device
are on the home screen now.
Folder. Navigation. 4.
And all I need to do is find an empty spot on my home screen and then swipe down till I hear it say wallpaper and style.
Home.
Swipe down,
Apps list.
swipe down,
Wallpaper and style.
tap.
Wallpaper and style. Lock.
Now it brought me back to that page where we have
Wallpaper. Lock screen.
at the top lock screen, and then to the right
Home
the
screen.
home screen, and then if I move down I got,
Clock color and size.
of course, and if I swipe down I still find the,
Shortcuts. Camera. QR code scanner.
so we hear shortcut, QR code, scanner, and camera. Those are the 2. So if I want to remove them, all I need to do is tap here,
Shortcuts. Back. Button.
and then at the bottom here, all I need to do is tap the first one, which is going to say none, and it'll clear both the left and right shortcuts.
None. 1 of 8. In list.
Tab.
8 items.
I have tapped on none, and now if I go home, for example,
Home. Home. Out.
and I shut off the screen,
Screen off. Ringer
now
silent.
I turn it back on,
9:34 p.m.
and at the bottom,
52% issue with
I don't
charging
have
accessory.
anything on either the left or the bottom left part of my lock screen. And that's how you go about adding or removing icons on your lock screen. I'll now hand you over to the podcast crew as we deliberate upon these things.
So, how are we feeling about Android 14 Beta 3 now, folks? Obviously, it was a bit unstable in its first iterations. I think there was universal agreement that it might have been the worst ever Android beta. But, John, do you have it? Are you happy with it?
I do have it. I haven't noticed too much new as far as the actual operating system. I don't use that phone too often, but I'm very excited about TalkBack 14, which I'm assuming we'll get to in a minute. But maybe Warren is the one who should tell us that what's new in Android 14 Beta 3, if there's anything else other than what he demonstrated with the lock screen shortcuts.
Well, I think for me, though, like it says, this probably Android 14, the whole thing has been the worst thing. It reminds me so much of Windows Millennium, back in, 2000, that awful baby that was taken out early. It shouldn't have been born. Excuse my Espanol. But Android 14 has been absolutely awful until this recent current one that we have. Nothing has, I mean, even the first developer preview was actually better than, betas 1 and 2. Beta, it's just awful. I can't even describe how bad it was. But I'm, happy with what we got. Of course, I did, what my doctrine has always been is to do that reset to make sure. And sure enough, I haven't experienced any single crash like, what was happening. I mean, beta 2 kind of helped a little bit to where I was at least getting that crash like maybe once a day or once every 2 days. So far since I got the beta 3, I haven't observed one single thing. And like I said in that preamble, this has reached that platform stability. So it better not be messing up. And I like it. Nothing really new besides what I just mentioned earlier. But like John says, we got that TalkBack 14. And for those of us who are blind, probably this is the most exciting part of it, as far as I can see.
So, Kareen, I was wondering, I was reading in some websites, they say using Pixel 7, there are some crashes when you open camera app. Do you have that, or have you tried that one?
So that was like in the previous betas. I haven't, seen that happening. That was fixed. I think actually the fix came out with that little beta 2.1. So no, that's no longer an issue.
Austin, have you installed Beta 3 yet?
So for me, I have the Pixel 7a, and I checked in May, the whole month of May. I checked in early June, like June 5th, and the beta 2.1 was not available. We could not enroll Pixel 7a in the beta program. But then when beta 3 rolled, that time Pixel 7a got the beta. So I installed the beta, and it has been, like Warren said, very stable. The camera does not crash. There are no crashes that I've seen till now. The changes, however, are nothing much to tell about. It's all visual changes. So for low vision people, it will be very good. Like they've added one color here, one shortcut there, one toggle, some toggles here and there. So not much of a changes if you are totally visually challenged. But for low vision, they can use some of the changes, and they are going more ahead of the material view. So lots of changes in way of visual changes in Android 14, but it is very stable, and I hope the next betas don't mess up, because developer 1 was stable, developer 2 then started falling, and beta 1, beta 2 was unstable, but beta 3 is back to stability, and I hope the next betas and the RCs don't mess it up.
Do you observe any overheating with the new preview?
In fact, the Pixel 7a used to heat with Android 13 stable. As my Pixel review, I said that with the 5G network on, it just heated like crazy. But in the new preview, they have fixed the heating, so it does not heat that much. However, I will use it more on 5G, and maybe in the next podcast, or I will make a YouTube short explaining if it heats up or not.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah. My Pixel 5 isn't heating up, but I don't have a SIM in it. So if it's the 5G that's causing that, then my phone wouldn't experience it.
Yeah, it is the 5G that is causing it, because it didn't heat up on Wi-Fi or 4G on Android 13. But now even 5G does not heat up.
I think that the whole 5G thing is a battery killer, if you ask me. I don't, like if I'm home, I don't turn my mobile data on because it just kills your battery. So I don't like that.
Should we talk about TalkBack 14? Who wants to walk us through this? Warren, do you want to first go at it?
I think that for the Android 14 or TalkBack 14, one of the major things that really excites us has to do, with the Braille support, especially, I think maybe like people have been clamoring for wanting to be able to do grade 2 input and all of that, particularly maybe US Braille and British Braille and all of that. People have been clamoring for that. I always use uncontracted Braille when I'm typing. So for me, it doesn't matter, but I know a lot of people want that input, and I think we have that. Anyone test that part? I didn't try it.
Yeah, I have. Interestingly, it's not listed as a new feature. So when you go to the What's New in TalkBack, but I've wanted it for the longest time, so I went in just to see out of interest if they've added it. They have, and it's amazing. So hopefully we can drive a metaphorical stake through the heart of UEB on our Android devices. Useless English Braille, I like to call it. Fee likes it.
Yes,
Fee?
I like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
For a start, you can't do smileys in old Braille because it doesn't know which bracket you mean.
No, but also you can't. You've lost a whole bunch of contractions, which makes it much bulkier. All sorts of gratuitous
Yeah, but if you're
symbols
typing
we
on a
never
phone,
needed.
that doesn't matter, really, does it? And
It does. What about Asian or Ali or one of these other?
Because it would be a capital N. That's why, or a capital Y.
But context is everything. It's at the end. It only ever worked at the end.
I know, but nowadays some people spell things really weird and have some small letters and some capital, so it means that it's ultra clear, maybe too clear, but
It's
I like
long
UEB
and tedious. I very much.
I like it.
This is my
what I'll
take
say, though.
on UEB. It used to be, the whole idea about Braille is space saving. We try to save space, and with UEB, actually, we want to consume more space. And I just find it so annoying. But of course, we're not the experts. We don't necessarily know what we're talking about. So the people that know most decide for us. This is how it ought to be. And it just defeats that whole purpose of saving space, if you ask me.
Lots of those people are cited as well. Let's just
some of the signs are a bit weird and a bit sort of ridiculous. I agree, some of them are, but actually, if you were learning Braille from new, I think UEB would probably be a bit easier to understand. Like, for example, if you're reading the word disaster and you're sort of part way through learning, you might think, why have they put full stop after? Some of the stuff we're used to it, but actually, if you're a newcomer, it could be quite muddly and confusing. And is that a dis or is that a double D? And I can see why they've changed some of them.
You learn the rules. I mean, obviously,
some people
don't know.
Some people don't have that kind of a brain that can remember all the rules, though. Yeah. So I do get why they've changed some of them.
Everyone seems to have managed previously. Like, the fact you don't know something when you're learning it is fine, and then you realise actually there's context here. There's no space behind it, so that in front of it. Sorry, so that's not a full stop because. And look, it says Asta. I wonder if this is a dis or a full stop. That must take about a microsecond to process before you realise what it is. And as Warren said, yes, lots of sighted experts have told us what Braille should be. So thanks for that.
Yeah, but I do think sometimes it's nice to know what a print thing looks like, sort of, with some of these signs that show. But some of them are a bit complicated. I agree as well. So. But I like it for using on my phone if I'm texting and things, if I'm using my Braille display, because then I can, like if someone puts a smiley or something, I can read what that is because the brackets are, otherwise you can accidentally send someone a sad face instead of a smiley face, for example. So that's why I switched over.
Oh,
for phone use.
there has to be a sad face before you could get a smiley face. So
Oh,
without a sad face, there will never be a smiley face. You know what I mean? So
no,
if you're
Is that like a
mistakenly
sunshine and rain thing?
well, what I'm
I've got
saying
It has
no
to be
idea what you're
sunshine after
talking
the
about.
rain or something.
no,
Yeah.
Because
what
the
I'm
first
saying
bracket
is
will be the left bracket. So you
no.
have to put
Here's what I'm saying. If there was no night, there was no darkness, for example, there wouldn't be light. So
No.
there can be a smiley without a sad face. So if you
Yeah.
mistakenly send someone a sad face, it's okay. It wasn't intended.
Yeah, you have to. So there has to be sunshine after the rain. That's what you're
Thank
saying,
you.
isn't it? Except
Yeah.
in Manchester, where there isn't, because it just rains. What I will say about the grade 2 talk about Braille keyboard support is it a little bit sketchy. So in UK English Braille anyway, I haven't tried US yet. But if you type actually, what you get is accordingly, because AC by itself is according. And it doesn't recognize that it's only according if there's a space immediately after the C. So that feels liblouis to me. I don't know that they have used liblouis tables, but that error is riddled throughout liblouis. So I imagine they have. Hopefully they will fix it. Some other liblouis errors have been eliminated, so you can write hello without it being helitalo, which you can't always on the UK table in other scenarios. So I need to play with the US one a bit more, but at least it is there, and we can use proper Braille now and abandon this nonsense, which I accept some people like.
But what about accordingly?
Maybe it says actually.
Actually,
I should try. Is that right? I'd have to check the rule.
I don't know.
no,
I don't use.
it was.
I use
might be.
uncontracted Braille.
But I
Yeah.
could be wrong. It's not something I normally write.
No.
No.
I think. Yeah, interesting. I should go and find out somewhere. I don't quite
Yeah,
know
there you
where.
go. That's this week's homework for you,
Yeah,
Ed.
go and find out what the SEB rule is for accordingly.
What will happen is that we'll feature some of these new features in the TalkBack highlights.
Other new things to point out about Braille is you have more gestures now on the TalkBack Braille keyboard. So you can edit text, manipulate text, cut it, copy it, move it, navigate, edit fields more than you previously could without having to exit the keyboard. It's become a little bit like advanced Braille keyboard in that regard.
I think that is huge. I like that.
yeah, it's really nice.
That's why I haven't liked the Braille keyboard on the actual phone, because every time you want to alter something or something, you have to get rid of it, and it's really annoying.
Yeah, it was really bad. You couldn't even change, like swiping up and down with one finger would go character by character, but you couldn't even change that to words from within the keyboard. You'd have to leave the keyboard, change your granularity to words, and then go back into the keyboard.
Oh
So
man, this is
now
why
you
I
can
never
do-
bothered with it.
yeah, now you can do all of that from in the keyboard. You can change your granularity by swiping with 3 fingers to either words, characters, lines, or paragraphs. And then in addition to that, you have gestures for each individual gesture is specifically for navigating by characters, words, and lines, and also selecting by characters, words, and lines. And then there's a gesture for beginning of field, a gesture for end of field, and then cut, copy, paste, select all. You can do pretty much everything now from within the keyboard, which is awesome.
One thing I didn't quite understand is you seem to be able to navigate by word. If you can do that, why do you need to be able to adjust granularity? I mean, I don't mind that you can adjust granularity, but sort of what's the point if you've built in the navigation anyway?
Yeah, true. But you can't, I would only use the navigation, the granularity for paragraphs because there's no gesture for paragraphs. But you're right, there are gestures now for words, lines, and characters. But you can do it either way.
I read that and I'm like, fine, but why didn't you just have to gesture a paragraph and so save yourself a job? I don't get
but
that.
it's nice to have choices though and different ways to do things.
Yeah. It makes the thing more complicated, but yeah, it doesn't harm, does it? The one thing,
but in a way, it might mean that someone doesn't have to remember all the different gestures. They can just change it when they want, and that'd probably be what I would do.
Yeah. The one thing I still don't think we have, do we? Unless sort of granularity has given it to us. Can you do a spell check from the Braille keyboard?
No, I don't think you can. You'd have to back out of it and do it the old-fashioned way from 13.1.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I didn't go in and try it, but I guess that's that's something it would have been good to see.
I think that overall, it's a nice change, and things can only get better and better. And so if we, feedback folks, if there are things that you're finding that not working right, then give that feedback, and I think we'll get better from here. And these things were, we didn't expect that they were going to be making these huge changes, and so I'm an optimist that things are going to get better.
Yep. The other thing to mention, and I haven't looked at these, so if anyone else has, but apparently you have more Braille display commands now than you used to have, similar to, I guess, adding gestures. They've added Braille commands. I don't know what those new ones do. I don't know if anyone else has had a look. Doesn't sound like it, but if you have Android 14 beta 3 and you have a Braille display, you might want to go and have a look, have a play with those, see if it interests you, the things they've added there. But a good Braille focused update, and it's nice to see because TalkBack did lag, I think, behind iOS, which itself wasn't brilliant for Braille support. So nice to see developments in that area.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely the focus of this update, it seems like. I'll just mention a couple other little things that I've noticed that are different. One being that there's a new option in verbosity for download, like updates for things that are changing. I don't remember how they word it, but like download progress, you can turn that on or off. Then you can now add Braille display settings to the TalkBack menu if you want to get to it quicker. And in fact, I think it's there by default now. And also you can remove actions from your reading controls now if you want. So if you want to go back to the old way of using actions in a menu, instead of having your reading control automatically changed back to actions every time TalkBack's focus lands on something that is an action, then you have the option now. And also, you can assign raise accessibility volume and lower accessibility volume to any gesture you want. So if you're one of those people that is annoyed that you now have to hold one finger on the screen and press the volume keys to change the accessibility volume, you now have the option to assign your own gestures to do that. And then the last thing I noticed was you can choose a 24-hour clock in the advanced settings, which is when you turn your screen on, it'll tell you the clock in 24-hour format rather than AM, PM if you want it to.
That's a TalkBack thing rather than a clock thing, is it? That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh. I assumed it just took the time from whatever your clock was.
Yeah, I thought so too, and I tried it out, but it doesn't. It apparently it's something that's built into TalkBack.
Oh.
I kind of find that unnecessary. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but what's the point, really?
This is the Spotlight segment. Stay tuned for premium interviews, device unboxing, and more.
Now we come to our Spotlight section, and it's an ever-popular unboxing and review, and this time it's Warren unboxing the Ticwatch Pro5 from Mobvoi.
Which was on his desk of mysteries for many days.
Yeah, they're on the Ticwatch Pro 8 now. Warren only found it.
Listen, Austin, I was actually, keeping an eye out for that thing, and it was late. It was supposed to be here Saturday, the day of our last recording, and it didn't show up till Sunday, and then Monday, finally in the evening, I unboxed it. Hi, this is Warren Carr from Blind Android Users Podcast. Today, I'm doing an audio unboxing of the latest watch from Mobvoi. This is the Ticwatch Pro5. This costs $350 or $349, and it's the first one that runs Wear OS 3 and running W5 Plus Gen 1 chip, so it's a very powerful watch. I'll be doing a review of it later on, but today though, let's simply focus on what is in the box, physical dimensions, and all of that, and then in my review, we'll get into the software and how accessible it is. I will try to start accessibility upon unboxing it, but that's as far as I'll go in this video. Let's get started though. I got that box sitting here on my lap, and now I'll go into tearing it open. This thing was supposed to be here Saturday. However, it didn't get here till yesterday, which was Sunday. I'm doing this recording on Monday evening. Let's see what we got. All right. And now I'm going to take it out. So, but I do want to mention here, though, from the get-go, that this box is like a foot long. I don't know why it's this long, but it is that long. So think of it like your ruler. If it's not a foot long, maybe just an inch or two shorter, but I'm positive this thing is like a foot long. I'm going to go open it now, tear off the plastic. I succeeded in tearing a hole in the plastic, so see if I can get it wider and just tear it open. There we go. All right. There we go. And see if I can pull it out. There we go. And I pull another box out of the box that was in the plastic. So they're like two boxes. And I need to open this one. Simply pull out that opening. Whoops, sorry. There we go. And in here lies the watch. It already has a silicone band on it, and it's already attached. And I'm going to try to get it out of the box. There we go. If you've ever followed my unboxings, I don't always spend my time on telling you what's in the box and what kind of paper it is and all of that nonsense. I just get to the meat. Anyway, I'll take a little bit of time here, tell you what is in the box, especially in the way of the power. So I want to go in here besides the watch. There we go. I take another little tray here. There's a tray that the watch sits in. And there's a little card in here. And then to the right side, as I hold it, there's a little box in here. I believe this is the power. Try to open that up. Okay, as I open that up, there we go. That's a USB cord. And one part of it is like a semi circular. It's not a circle. It's kind of like almost, it's like a little curved part, very slim, and then it has like two pins on it, like little pogo pins. That's the part that will go to the watch for the charging, and the other end of it has the USB-A. That's what that charger is. I wish we had a standard for watches when it comes to charging, but everyone has their own take, and it kind of makes it a little bit difficult. So this is proprietary to the Mobvoi thing, and it just looks different. It's unlike the other ones from Samsung or from Google Pixel Watch. Now I am holding the watch in my hand. It does have the physical feel is that there's a little, I believe this is the power on the top right, and it is textured, so it has like ridges, so it is textured. That I believe is the power, and then there's the crown. That's all that you have. And again, like I said, it's a silicone band, and it does have a buckle. Don't know if you can hear that. Now I'm just going to hold down the power. This thing is about 50 millimeters, and it's my kind. It's a big watch. It's kind of lightweight. It's not that heavy. Someone may consider it heavy. To me, it feels just perfect because I like bigger watches. So this is absolutely my kind of watch. It's round. And now I'm going to hold down the power. I believe this is the power. And I'm holding it. I'm going to let go because I don't feel any vibrations, but I saw a little light come on it. So I'm going to keep it going and see what happens. Now, not knowing how Mobvoi implemented accessibility, I'll be doing the traditional, that is a 2-finger hold down, to see if it will actually enable accessibility. So I'm going to give it, there's a chime. There we go. Sounded like the Google one. So I wonder if I triple tap on the power button like the Google Watch and bring up accessibility. I'm going to try that first, and I hope to God that I don't mess it up. But I think, though, that I'm first going to put my finger down, 2 fingers down. I know that doesn't work on the Pixel Watch, but I'm going to try it here. So here we go. I'm going to put my 2 fingers down, and I'm holding, and I'm holding. Nothing happens. So now I'm going to triple tap the power button. 1, 2, 3. Nothing happened. Oh, there we go. I heard the sound of TalkBack or screen reader.
TalkBack on.
There we go.
Welcome to TalkBack. Swiping right moves to the next item. Swiping left moves to the previous item. When TalkBack is on, the focused item on the screen is spoken out loud. Swipe right now to find the next button.
As you can hear,
open TalkBack for more details.
As you can hear, the volume is very low. And so once I set it up, then I will get to setting it up. So we do know that it's just like the Pixel Watch, whereupon you triple tap the power to enable accessibility. And this would conclude the unboxing of the Mobvoi Tic Watch Pro5. My next video is going to be about software and how it works with accessibility enabled and how responsive or non-responsive it is. I will be doing that, though, with my Pixel 6 Pro running Android 13.0. Again, this concludes the quick unboxing of the Ticwatch Pro5. Hi, Warren Carr here for Blind Android Users Podcast. In the last unboxing of the Ticwatch Pro5, I got you to where we started accessibility, and we realized that tapping on the power button 3 times will enable accessibility. Upon triple tapping on that power button, you need to wait for like 10 or so seconds before you hear the sound of TalkBack coming on by the ear con, and takes another 10 or so seconds before you actually hear a speech output. I would like to take my time now and give you a quick overview of some of the important specs, and then we'll look at the setup and go through the setup and look at some of the things to see if they work for us as blind people or not. The Ticwatch Pro5 comes with double-layered display, that is, the OLED and then the FSTN, film compensated super twisted pneumatic. That's what that acronym stands for. This watch runs on the SND, that is Snapdragon W5 Plus Gen 1 chip with the Wear OS 3X. The watch has 2 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of internal storage, Bluetooth 5.2, Corning Gorilla Glass, NFC, mic and speaker, 5 ATM water resistance. It also has military-grade durability, compass and barometer, and it also has a rotating crown, the very first, I believe, for a Mobvoi watch. Those are some of the specs. It does a lot of measurements that I'll be putting a link to in this clip so you can take a look at. With that out of the way, let's get started though with the setup and look at the watch and what it has and what it doesn't have. I'll now hit the power button to wake it up.
Screen on. Welcome to TalkBack. Swiping right moves to the next item. Swiping left moves to the previous item. When TalkBack is
I will now go ahead and tap on the close at the bottom.
Next, close button. Close tutorial. You can come back to it anytime in TalkBack settings.
And I'm going to tell it to close.
Close button. Setup. Choose watch language button. Double tap.
We are now on the language selection, and I'm going to tap here.
Choose your language. English United States button.
We are on the English United States, and I'm going to tap here.
Setup. On your phone, download and open Mobvoi Health.
Okay.
In Mobvoi Health app, connect to this watch name. Ticwatch Pro5 4449.
All right, so that's what I'll be looking for in the Mobvoi Health app. I'll now run the Mobvoi Health app.
Mobvoi Health. Mobvoi Health. Page. No watch. Get one from Ticwatch Store. Start button.
I'm going to hit the start at the bottom.
List.
All right, I put my finger down.
Want to check out more data. Want to check out more data. Log in now button. Statistics tab selected. Device tab 2 of 3.
And there's a device at the bottom there, and I'm going to tap on that.
Device selected.
And I'll put my finger in the middle and go down.
Explore. Start pairing your watch here in list.
Okay.
Discover more. Add new device button.
And there's an add new device at the bottom. I'll tap.
Allow Mobvoi Health to find, connect and determine the relative position of nearby devices. Allow.
I'm going to tell it to allow.
Allow Mobvoi Health to access this device's location. Precise. Radio button. Selected. 1 of 2. In list.
I'm going to let it do it for the time being. And while using the app.
Don't allow. Button. Only this time. But while using the app. Button.
There we go.
Terms of service. Decline. Button.
Here's all the agreement.
More. Button.
At the bottom there's a more.
I agree.
And I agree at the bottom right.
Relevant Bluetooth permissions are permanently denied. The app needs to connect to nearby devices and determine their relative positions to discover a new watch. Mobvoi Health on left. Relevant Bluetooth permissions are permanently denied on.
Okay.
This app is needed to manage your watch. Mobvoi Health will be allowed to interact with your notifications and access your phone. Ticwatch Pro5 4449. In list.
There's my watch.
Relevant Bluetooth permissions are permanently
I
denied.
tapped on it.
The app needs to connect to nearby devices and determine their relative position. Cancel. Button. Relevant Bluetooth permissions are permanently denied on top. Pair with Ticwatch Pro5 4449.
And
On bottom.
it shows.
Pairing code. Pair with Ticwatch Pro5 4449.
266,058.
That's the pairing code, and I should be able to see that here on the phone.
266,058.
All right.
Allow access. Cancel.
I'm going to
Pair.
pair.
Relevant Bluetooth permissions are permanently denied.
Setup.
Cancel. Button.
Pairing success. Image.
Okay, the watch said
Pairing success.
pairing success.
Continue
And I need to continue on the phone.
Mobvoi Health. Connect Google account to your watch. Out of list.
All right, now I need to connect the Google account to my watch. And I'll tap continue at the bottom.
Continue. Button. Getting Google account info.
And I'm going to let it get the Google account info.
Device setup. Sign into your Google account. Heading.
Sign into my Google account. I'm going to find my Google account, tap on it.
warcare@gmail.com. Selected.
There we go.
Unlock to continue setting up your device.
Tap on my username and it says unlock. Going to put my finger down on fingerprint reader.
Authenticated. Device setup. Signing in. Heading. Google Play Services. Device setup. Signing in. Heading. Mobvoi Health. Navigate up. Button.
All right.
Set up a screen lock for your watch.
And we come to the screen lock.
Skip. Button.
There's a skip at the bottom.
Pin. Button.
And there's a pin. So I'm going to tap on pin.
Navigate up. Button.
Set a pin. Settings. Pin area.
Now I'll need to grab the watch and put the pin in there. For this one though, I'm just going to do 1111. So I'm going to put my finger down.
1 1 1 1. Confirm pin.
Okay. I'm going to retype 1111 again.
1 1 1 1. Setting screen lock. Continue on phone.
Select
Setup.
apps for your watch.
Now I need to go back to the phone. And here we are.
We've picked some apps to help you get started, including some apps that are on this phone or on your other devices.
Okay,
You can
I'm
find
just
more apps on Google Play and install them from your phone or watch.
going to tap at the bottom.
Continue.
Continue.
Button. Mobvoi Health.
Setup. Setup complete. Setup complete. Continue on phone.
I heard the word said setup complete and tells me to continue on the phone. Okay, it also made a chime there.
Button. Disabled. Detected. Text. Initialization.
So it's initializing,
Waiting for the watch to be ready.
waiting for the watch to be ready.
All set.
There we go. It says I'm all set. Now, at the bottom,
Done. Button.
I hit the done button.
Mobvoi Health. Mine. Tab. Selected. 1 of 2. In list. 2. Ticwatch. Tab. 2 of 2.
Now I'm going to go back to the watch. I'm going to put the phone to the side.
Enter pin to unlock.
Now I need to enter my PIN.
1 1 1 1. Home. 1 hour ago. Person seen.
There it says 1 hour ago person seen. That's talking about my Google
Learn how
camera.
to use your new watch.
All right.
Start. End tutorial. Button.
I'm going to end the tutorial. Now I'm going to swipe up and down to see if I
Essential
could
mode
change.
settings. Now, auto switch to essential mode by schedule is on. To save battery power, your watch will automatically enter and exit essential mode at night. Accessibility volume.
There we go.
Increase, 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 increase. Maximum.
I just turn up
Accessibility volume
the
set to
accessibility to
100%.
100%.
Dear users, we are seeking your consent. Enable all. Double tap to activate.
Let me see what I'm enabling all or not enabling all.
Enable all. Or enable them one by one as needed. Not checked. Steps. Switch.
Okay, so we
Double
got
tap to
steps.
toggle. Accessed by watch faces. Tick health. Tick exercise. Double tap to activate. Not checked. Heart rate. Switch. Accessed by watch faces. Tick exercise. Not checked. Location. Switch. Accessed by watch faces. Tick exercise. Not checked. Motion state. Switch. Accessed by tick health. Tick. Not checked. Calendar. Switch. Accessed by watch face. Not checked. Microphone, switch. Accessed by tickering, voice memo. Not checked. Stress level, switch. Accessed by Tixin. Not checked. Blood oxygen, switch.
So that's
Double tap to
blood
toggle.
oxygen.
Accessed by Tixaleep. Not checked. Respiratory rate, switch. Double. Accessed by one. Not checked. Skin temperature, switch. Accessed by. Not checked. Barometer, switch. Accessed by. Not checked. Data sync, switch. To sync record data for tick health, tick exercise, tick pulse, tick sleep, tick oxygen. If you choose not to provide such information or authorization, the other functions of this product or service will still be available to you.
Okay.
Privacy policy, button.
Now I'm going to scroll back up
Accessed by
and
watch faces,
tap
tick
on
exercise.
Enable All.
Dear you. Enable all.
There we
Double.
go. I tapped on Enable All.
Done. Double
Then
tap to
tap
activate.
on Done.
Home screen. Unread notifications. Swipe up to open. Image.
So I want to check the accessibility, and so I'll swipe up and see if it shows any notifications.
Notifications.
There we go.
Google Play Store. 3 minutes ago. Setup complete. Home screen. Complication. Double tap to activate.
Now I hear complication.
Complication tick and pass. Double.
Okay, so it says complication before the complication like it does on the Pixel Watch. Now I'm going to roll down
Quick settings. Press power button or
crown.
scroll up to return to watch face.
and I'm going to go
Airplane
into
mode
the
off.
settings.
Battery 60%. Open settings.
Battery is at
Double tap to
60%.
activate. Settings. Connectivity. Button.
All
Double
right,
tap to
so this
activate.
is basically where Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and all of that
Display. Button.
display.
Double
We
tap
should
to
probably
activate.
go in here and change some
Settings.
things. We
Display.
got
Always on screen. Button. Tilt to wake. Button. Adjust brightness. Button. Screen timeout. 15 seconds. Button.
I'm going to increase
Double
that.
tap. Screen timeout. Not checked. 10 seconds recommend. Checked. 15 seconds. Not checked. 30 seconds. Double tap to
Let's
toggle.
do that instead.
Change screen timeout. 30 seconds reduces battery life.
That's okay.
Okay. Button. Screen timeout. Checked. 30 seconds.
Now I'm going to
Double
go
tap to
back. I
toggle.
could swipe from left to right to go back.
Settings. Screen timeout. 30 seconds. Go to watch face. After 1 minute. Button. Font size. Button. Change watch face. Button.
Let's take a look at
Double
some of
tap
the
to
watch
activate.
faces, see if they're accessible.
Home screen. Watch face picker. Activate macaroon. Activate happy rotation. Activate sleep coat. Activate the fog. Activate dynamic num. Activate time show. Activate dashboard. Activate night. Activate TNOL. Activate fitness. Activate image. Add watch face. Button.
Let's see if
Double
we could
tap to
add
activate.
watch face.
Add to favorites. Age of blood. Blue moon. Burning. Colorful. Dynamic composition. Elements pointer. Futurist. Heartbeat. Horizon. Ideal ocean. Double tap to active. Macaroon. Mars. Modern. Double.
I think I'm going to go choose that blue moon.
Colorful. Burning. Blue moon.
There we go.
Activate blue moon. Double tap to activate.
There we go.
2:14 p.m. Unread notification.
Blue moon is now activated. Now I'm going to pull down that quick panel again, and I want to go into the settings and see if I could find anything having to do with using the crown to do things.
Quick settings. Press power button or scroll up to return to watch face.
I just
Open
rolled down
settings.
the crown.
Battery 59. Open settings. Double tap to activate. Settings. Gestures. Display. Button. Gestures.
We
Button.
got gestures.
Double. Settings. Gestures.
And in gestures, we got...
Checked. Touch to wake. Check box.
I'm not going to do
Double
that.
Not checked. Touch lock. Button. Checked. Touch and hold watch face to change. Check box.
That's fine. That's the last one. So now I'm going to go back.
Settings. Gestures. Apps and notifications. Button.
Apps and
Double tap to
notifications.
activate.
Let's take a quick look in here.
Settings. Apps and notifications. Button. Do not disturb. Default apps. Button. App info. App permissions. Button. App storage. Button.
That's the last one. We'll go back out.
Settings. Apps and notifications. Google. Button.
There's
Double
Google
tap to
here.
activate.
And the one thing I don't like about this watch is the fact that it doesn't have the assistant.
Sound. Button.
And I
Double tap to
think that
activate.
what is going on here is that Google is hog tying the assistant and saving it for only itself and the Samsung guys. Open up the door, Google, for people to use the assistant.
Vibration. Button.
Here's
Double tap to
vibration. Let's
activate.
take a look.
Settings. Vibration. Checked. Silence watch when not being worn. Check box. Notifications won't sound or vibrate when watch is off, wrist or not charging. Checked. Vibration and haptics. Check box. Double. Checked. Using crown. Check box. Double tap to toggle.
Let's go back.
Settings. Vibration. General. Button.
Take a look
Double
at
tap to
general.
Ticwatch. General. Heading. On. Show unread notification. On. Auto launch media control. Off. Horizontal scroll to tiles. Switch.
I
Double
should
tap to toggle.
turn that on.
On. When on, rotating the crown on your watch face scrolls horizontally between tiles.
Okay.
Start tutorial.
That's the last one. I'm going to go back.
Settings. General. Health profile. Button.
Here's the
Double
health
tap to
profile.
activate. Tick health. My profile. Gender. Male. Button. Double tap to activate. Gender. Not checked. Female.
You got
Double
female.
tap. Checked. Male.
And that's who I am.
Tick health. Gender. Male. Button. Born. The 12th of June 1998. Button. Double tap to activate.
I was born in June 1998. I don't think so, but I'll let it be. I'll fix it
Born.
later.
The 12th of June. Height. 5 feet 7 inches featuring. Button. Weight. 132 pounds. Button.
I don't think so.
Double tap to activate.
Okay, I'll leave this on. I'll fix those later on.
Units. Imperial. Button.
Okay,
Double tap to activate.
that's the last one.
Settings. Health profile. Button.
Next.
Double. Location. Button.
Next.
Accessibility. Button.
Accessibility. I
activate.
don't know what else we'll see in here. Let's go in and take a quick look.
Settings. Accessibility.
We've got
Not checked. Magnification. Talkback. Button. Font size. Button. Sound. Button. Vibration. Button. Double tap to activate.
vibration. I believe we already have that on. I will double check by tapping.
Settings. Vibration. Checked. Silence watch when not being.
Yep, we do have it.
Notifications won't sound or vibrate when
Now
watch is
go
off, wrist or
back.
not. Settings. Vibration. Button. Real-time text RTT button. Double tap to
I
activate.
think that's for people that are hard of hearing.
Text-to-speech output. Button.
Okay,
Double. Not checked. Power button ends call. Checkbox.
and you could
Double
do
tap
that.
to
I never
toggle.
like doing that. That's the last one there. I'm going to go back.
Settings. Accessibility. Button.
Move
Double-
on.
Security button.
Security,
to
let's take a
activate.
look.
Settings. Security. Device administration. Screen lock. Automatic button. Lock screen now button.
That's the last one.
Settings. Security. System button.
Take a look
Double
at
tap to
system.
Settings. System. System updates button. Essential mode button. Double tap
That's
to
the one I
activate.
was talking about.
Power off button.
Power off.
Restart button. Date and time button. Input methods button. Double about button. Regulatory information. Disconnect and reset.
And that's the last one. Now, before we go into that essential mode, basically using the non-OLED screen, let's go to the system updates and see if we have any updates.
About. Input methods button. About button. Input methods. System updates. Double
There's system
tap to
updates. Let's see what's here.
System update. Checking for update. Downloading update.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't be updating
0%.
it
Progress
at
bar.
this time.
Downloading update. 0%. Progress bar.
I'm going to go back.
Settings.
There we go.
System update downloading. System update downloading. System updates. Double tap to activate.
I'm going to go back.
Settings. System button.
And that's the last one. Now, I'm going to see if we could do any measurements, heartbeat and all of that. So I'm going to go to,
Home screen.
now
Unread
I'm on the
notification.
home screen and I'm going to rotate the crown and see what happens.
Timer. Timer 5 minutes button. Double tap to activate.
I'm rotating it very slowly.
Tick oxygen.
Take oxygen.
Tick pulse.
All right, I'm going to click on that.
Unlabeled. Double tap to activate. Mobvoi account. Log in to save your health and fitness data.
I don't want to log on right now.
Log in on phone button. Log in on watch button. Skip button.
There we go.
If you are not logged in with your Mobvoi ID, some data may not be retained.
That's fine.
Tick pulse. Okay, but tick pulse. Dash dash.
I think I'm going to increase the timeout. So let me get out of here and do that.
Quick settings. Press power. Open settings. Settings. Display
I'm going to
button.
increase that timeout.
Settings. Display. Adjust brightness. Screen timeout. 30 seconds. Screen timeout.
I'm going to give it 2 minutes.
Not checked. 10 seconds. Checked. 30.
All right, that's all we got.
Home screen.
Anyways, so now
2:26
I'm going to
PM.
swipe
Unread
from
notification.
right to left and see.
Forecast. Tick yield. Unlabeled. Double tick pulse. Unlabeled.
That's tick
Double tap
pulse,
tap. Tick oxygen. Unlabeled.
tick oxygen,
Next event. Last day
That's
of school.
calendar.
Timer. Timer 5 minutes.
timer,
Tick pulse. Home screen.
that's a tick pulse.
Unlabeled.
And so we got unlabeled
oxygen.
buttons.
Unlabeled.
So I can't
Unlabeled.
measure.
Mobvoi account. Log in on. Skip button. Unlabeled. But
Okay,
detect failed. Please tighten your watch strap and try again.
okay, let's try again.
Tick.
Let me tighten my watch.
Pin area. 1. 1. 1. 1. Home screen. 2:32 p.m.
Okay, let's go to that blood oxygen again.
Forecast. Tick yield. Unlabeled. Tick pulse. Unlabeled.
We'll tap on the pulse and see what happens.
Tick pulse. Measuring.
Says measuring.
Dash dash. Dash dash. Dash dash. Measuring. Dash dash. Dash dash. Swipe up to enter the heart health monitoring page.
Let's see what we got.
81. BPM. Disabled. Dash dash. Dash dash. Swipe up to enter the heart health monitoring page. Resting. Page 2 of 2.
Okay.
AVG. Dash dash. BPM. Dash. AVG. Resting. AVG.
So this is resting mode.
79.
79.
BPM.
I feel a little burning sensation on my wrist.
Your HR zone. Dedicated HR zone analysis available after login.
Okay.
Unlabeled button.
I'm going to swipe up again, see if I find anything.
More button. More button. Nothing abnormal today. Congratulations. There was no abnormal heart rate record for the last 30 days.
No, I haven't had it for that long. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here.
Screen. 2:34 p.m.
And
Unread notification.
let's see. We'll try something else.
Forecast. Tic health. Unlabeled.
Whatever this one is.
Mobvoi account. Log in to save your health and fitness data. Log in on phone, but log in on skip.
I'm going to
button.
skip.
If you are not logged in with your Mobvoi ID, some data may not be retained. Tic
Okay.
health. Page. Unlabeled. Unlabeled. Unlabeled.
Frankly, I don't know what this is.
Unlabeled. Mobvoi account. Log in on phone.
So I can't figure out which fitness this one is. I'm going to hit that home,
Home screen.
hit the crown to go
2:35
back
p.m.
home.
Unread
Now,
notification.
so it appears that some of these things are not accessible to us, especially the buttons, but once you get it going, it reads the numbers. But how do you get to do what you want if you don't know what you're looking for or what button to tap on? So that is a problem, something that Ticwatch or Mobvoi needs to work on. Let's go to that Tic Oxygen, see what happens.
Forecast. Tic health. Tic pulse. Tic oxygen. Unlabeled. Tic oxygen. Detect failed. Please tighten your watch strap and try again.
My watch is tightened. Let's try again.
Unlabeled.
Maybe not
button.
tight enough. Okay.
Detect failed. Tic oxygen. Unable to measure blood oxygen. Cancel.
Let's try
button.
again.
Okay. Tic oxygen. Detect failed. Please tighten your watch strap and try again.
I am tired. Let's try it again.
Unlabeled. Tic oxygen. Unable to measure blood oxygen. This may be due to your wrist being face downward, having too much a tilt angle, or other factors. Please cancel. Button. Okay. Tic.
Okay, so it seems it does work. It's just, I'm going to try to tighten it a little bit more and see, but goodness. Okay, let's see.
Home screen. 2:48 p.m. Forecast.
Let's try it one more time.
Tic health. Tic pulse. Unlabeled. Tic oxygen. Unlabeled. Mobvoi account. Log in on phone. Button.
I'm going to skip that.
Log in on. Skip. Make sure your watch is properly secure. Cancel. But unable to measure blood oxygen. Space.
Okay, so it just maybe something just not adding up, but at least I've given it a try. I will maybe let it charge or whatever, but that didn't work. The other one worked, but my concern is the fact that these things, the buttons are not labeled. I mean, measurements read out to you, but the buttons are not labeled. That becomes a problem. Next, though, let's see if we could do some typing. So I'm going to go to maybe Play Store or something like that and see what we can do and bring this thing to a close.
Screen locked. Tick oxygen. Enter pin to unlock. Pin area 1, 2. 1, 2. Pin area 2 character 1, 2. 1. Tick up home screen. 2:50 p.m. Apps. Agenda button.
Now I tap on the crown and it took me to apps. I'm going to rotate and see if it works.
Alarm button. Calculator button. Contacts button. Find my phone.
I'm going to
button.
scroll up to Play Store.
Flashlight button.
So I'm using the crown.
Google Wallet button. Hand wash timer. Maps button. Media controls button. Messages but Mobvoi treadmill. One tap measurement button. Phone button. Play Store.
There we go.
Play Store.
Here is Play Store. It's trying to load. I don't know what's going on. There we
Show
go.
you belong. Window Play Store. Search but Ticwatch. Edit box. Showing untitled. Keyboard hidden. Permission request. Allow button. Ticwatch. Edit box.
Okay.
Search for apps. Voice input button.
I'm going to try the voice input first. Accessible Android.
Restart voice dictation. Search button. Keyboard hidden. Play Store. Search button. Android Accessibility Suite. Update. Contacts. Update. Contacts. Update. Messages by Google. Update. MacroDroid. Device Automation. 4.1.
I got some updates waiting for me, but I'm not into that right now.
Google Keep. Notes and Lists. 4.6.
I was trying to see if I could get the Accessible Android app and install it. That's what I'm trying to see. Now let's see if I could do some typing instead of a voice input. Go back.
Apps. Play Store. Search button. Ticwatch. Editing. Edit box. Showing
Now
English
I'm going to
US
type
QWERTY
in
keyboard.
Chrome.
Capital C. Cap. H. F. Foxtrot. R. I. O. N. November. M. A. E. F. E.
And there should be a search near the top or the bottom.
Search.
Search is near the top right.
Keyboard hidden. Play Store. Search button. Google Home 4.5. Samsung Internet Browser 4. Google Home 4. Google Maps update.
Well, that brings us to the conclusion of this Ticwatch review. Again, like I said, this is a good watch if you don't mind the size, and it's not as heavy as it looks. It's actually lightweight, so it's a great watch. And just a few drawbacks, including the lack of the assistant, which I actually blame on Google. Google's the one hog-tying this and not allowing other manufacturers besides Samsung to have it. If you look, the latest watches from Fossil and all of those guys, they don't have the assistant. So it's not something that Mobvoi is doing wrong. It's more of Google's doing. And thanks for listening to this quick review.
And so it sounds from the review, Warren, that you quite like it. Is that right? Would you say?
Yeah, well, frankly, I think it's kind of speedier than any other smartwatch I ever tried. And I like it. And the size, for example, like I said, I like big watches and it's not heavy. So definitely. The only drawback for me, though, like I said in my review, has to do with the fact that it doesn't have the assistant, and it's not their fault. It's Google hog tying things and just keeping it to themselves. And Samsung, remember Samsung last year or the year before when the Watch 4 came out, it did not even have it and had to be pushed through via an update. So I don't know why Google is doing this. It should be open to everybody, and it just kind of pour cold water on something that's absolutely nice. I guess maybe Google doesn't like the competition. I think that's the only way I can put it.
But is it only on watches? Because on the Sonos speakers, for example, you can use the Google Assistant, so they're not barring everyone else from using it. So
no, I'm talking about on the watch.
So it's only is it only watches they're not letting people use the assistant? But I suppose they want people to buy the Pixel Watch, though, don't they?
Or the Galaxy Watches. But here's my problem. If you notice that I try to do a voice dictation in the review, so if you're blind, you just have to assume that the voice dictation has started because it doesn't beep for you to hear it. Maybe it was my mistake, but I didn't hear any chimes or anything of that nature. So Google, come on, man, let that baby loose. That's all I can say.
Because when I did voice dictation on the Pixel Watch, I did hear a chime. And Warren, is the watch faster than the Pixel Watch?
Absolutely. A whole lot faster. I mean, just listen to my review, and, try to use a Pixel Watch and you compare it. It's like day and night. And, entering the pin on the lock screen, I mean, the one on the Mobvoi is just absolutely beautiful. It's not the stupid, idiotic thing we have on the Pixel Watch. I actually decided to not use the pin on my Pixel Watch.
So have you tried it with like different types of exercise and stuff? Because that's quite a big thing with that watch.
Yeah, so
isn't it?
I'm not one of those that buy my watch because I want to know how I'm sleeping or how much food I'm eating or not eating. That's not my focus. So frankly, as you can hear in my review, I tried the oxygen and the the blood thing. The oxygen one or the heart rate one, I mean, worked for some reason. Yeah, it could be me. Maybe it just didn't like me. Maybe I wasn't pumping blood. I don't know.
What, you're not actually, you're not still
I wasn't living.
anymore.
I wasn't living.
So in other words, Warren's answer is no, I didn't try exercise. That was too much work.
No, exact. Thank you, John. I didn't want to be explicit, but no, I don't do that. You know why? I don't need a watch to tell me that I'm exercising or not exercising. I go out walking, doing my gardening, mowing my lawn. That's a lot of exercise on there. I don't need a watch to tell me how much I've done. My body tells me how much I've done.
Like,
I quite enjoy reading.
Why are you mowing your own yard? Isn't that what literally they're for? Why are you doing that? Like, make them do it.
Well, talking about mowing the yard, yesterday, so in the evening, I was mowing the yard, but then I decided to, cut the weeds around the fence, the edges of the fence, and I used a sickle for doing that. And while I was doing that, a frog jumped on me, and I got scared. It scared the daylights out of me, and I quit.
Man, at least you didn't freak out and get yourself with the sickle.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I wanted to find it and kill it, and then he went to my pond.
Why did you kill the frog? That's not very nice.
It scared the hell out of me, man. I'm like, first I thought, was it a garden snake? No, it wasn't. The damn frog. And he went to the pond, and over the night he was croaking there in the pond. Like,
did you scream?
No,
come on, tell the truth. Did you scream?
Oh, come on, bro. I'm all El Macho, but I was scared.
I probably would have. I would have at least yelled, like, "What the hell?"
Last time I got scared is when I turned on a Pixel. God, they are scary, aren't they? So rubbish.
Okay. Yeah, but I like the Mobvoi watch. So if you don't mind that it doesn't have the assistant or doesn't have an LTE model, then you could get it. So
Can you do anything about that assistant then? Can you put it on in any way? I don't know if it can install APKs or whether there is one. Is that not
you
a thing?
can't. It's not supported. I think that they will let them have it later on, but the good thing that is running the Qualcomm chip, and that's why it's better than what Google has.
So I just checked the watch, and the watch is not available in India.
Oh,
Yeah.
so because it's not Google and it's not Samsung, can you still get apps for the watch, for that watch?
Of course, any app that is available for Wear OS, yes, you'll
Yeah,
get it.
so Google, I haven't blocked that or anything. Yeah,
Oh no,
that's
no,
good.
no! It's just a system that's not there, but
That's a
everything else
shame.
that supports Wear OS is there if you want it. And now the G Show, or what Austin refers to as the Joshua Screen Reader, aka Commentary Screen Reader (CSR). This is where some feature of this screen reader is demonstrated.
Now we come to our next segment, and it's another demonstration of the commentary screen reader from Kareen.
Hello everyone, in this Joshua episode, I'll talk about character-by-character browsing mode. With this mode, you can navigate by characters, words, lines or paragraphs, as well as select and copy text. All of this is done using gestures. Let's see how it works. I'm in Telegram in saved messages. I'll focus a message.
1. Building screen reader compatible apps ensures inclusivity by providing equal access to information for individuals with visual impairments. 2. Screen reader compatibility empowers users with visual impairments to navigate and interact independently, enhancing their overall user experience. 3. Creating screen reader compatible apps reflects a commitment to diversity and equal opportunity, showcasing an inclusive approach to digital accessibility. Center 2206. Scene.
The default gesture to open character-by-character browsing mode is swiping left then down. Of course, it's possible to change the gesture and to select the mode from the main menu. Swipe left then down.
Character-by-character browsing mode.
Now the gestures are different. To move to the next character, you swipe down. Previous character, swipe up. Next word, swipe right then left. Previous word, swipe left then right. Next line, swipe right. Previous line, swipe left. Next paragraph, swipe right then down. Previous paragraph, swipe left then up. To go to the beginning of the text, swipe up then down. To go to the end, swipe down then up. To open selection menu, you swipe up then right. To go to the main menu, swipe down then right. Joshua Voice Assistant, swipe down then left. Extensions, swipe up then left. And let's start swiping down to read by characters.
1. Period. Space. Capital B. U. I. L. D.
Swiping up.
L. I. U. Capital B.
Swiping right then left.
Building. Screen. Reader.
Left and right.
Reader. Screen. Building.
Going to the top.
The top.
Swiping right for the next line.
1.
It stopped after the period, despite the fact that there's no line break here. So the 1, then the period, then the text is on the same line. So the line navigation is not that good. Let's go to the beginning again.
The top.
And let's open selection mode, swiping up, then right.
Selection mode.
The granularities by which selection is done are decided using the gestures, the gestures that you use to navigate the text. So if you swipe down, you're selecting by characters, for example. And the direction that you start the selection with can be to the previous or to the next, and the other direction will be to deselect. Now I will swipe right then down to select a paragraph.
1. Building screen reader compatible apps ensures inclusivity by providing equal access to information for individuals with visual impairments.
To copy this selection, I will swipe down, then right.
Copy to clipboard.
As you were able to notice, there is no indication that the text was selected. And even when I deselect a text, it will not say that this text was deselected. I will now go to the point 3. I put the cursor on the number 3, so I will move again by paragraphs. 1 paragraph.
2. Screen reader compatibility
And then I
empowers
swipe
users with
down.
vision. 3.
And I am on the number 3. I want to start the selection from here, so I'll go again to the selection mode, up right,
Selection mode.
and I'll select my paragraph.
Creating screen reader compatible apps reflects a commitment to diversity and equal opportunity, showcasing an inclusive approach to digital accessibility.
I didn't read number 3, where the cursor is on, but it selected it. To know the selected text, I put my finger on the screen, so I tap the screen with my finger.
3. Creating screen reader compatible apps reflects a commitment to diversity and equal opportunity, showcasing an inclusive approach to digital accessibility.
This is the selected text. To append it to the previously copied text, I will swipe up, then left.
Copy to clipboard.
Now it is appended to the previously copied text. To copy all the texts, not only the selection, I swipe right, then up. If I want to select from the position of the cursor until the end of the text, I use the swiping down, then up, which takes me to the end in selection mode. And if I want to select from the position of the cursor until the beginning, I use swiping up, then down. Let's see. I will go to...
Capital S.
Okay, I'm now on the first letter of the word sent. I want to select from sent until the end of the text. Selection mode, upright.
Selection mode.
And swipe down, then up.
To end.
To see the selection or to hear the selection, I'll tap the screen.
Center 2206. Scene. Unselected.
I exited selection mode by swiping up, then right. I will go to the beginning again.
The top.
And I will stop on
1. Period. Space. Capital B.
the word, the letter B in building, and I'll start selection.
Selection mode.
And I'll swipe down.
U.
It said the letter U. If I read the selection.
U.
So the selection starts from the place where the cursor is located. I'll continue selecting.
I. L. D.
Now it's build.
I.
I selected I.
U. D.
To deselect it, I'll swipe up.
D.
It read the letter D, but it deselected the letter I.
Build. Unselected.
To exit character by character browsing mode, I swipe left, then down.
Focus browsing.
Let's see the text that I copied and then appended another text to. I'll go to the clipboard history. I can access it from the functions menu by swiping up, then right by default. And I can, of course, assign a gesture to it and find it in the main menu.
Clipboard history. Clip. Enter keyword. 1. Building screen reader compatible apps ensures inclusivity by providing equal access to information for individuals with visual impairments. 3. Creating screen reader.
So it was point 1 and point 3. And to edit the text, I long press it and then choose edit.
Add to favorites. Save as a edit. 1. Building
I
screen
do
reader
the edits
OK button.
and then tap OK.
Cancel button. Clipboard history.
I can use the same gestures to navigate text on edit boxes. But unfortunately, according to my tests, selection doesn't work well here. So you will be able to navigate, but if you try to select text, the selection will not be reliable at all.
Message text box.
I'll paste the copied text.
1. Building screen reader compatible apps ensures. Send.
And
1. Edit mode.
when the edit box is focused, I use the left then down gesture, and it will tell me that it is the edit mode. Here I can use the same gestures, swiping down,
New line.
up,
Period. Y. T.
and all the other gestures to navigate the text.
Focused browsing.
Some improvements I like to see in character-by-character browsing mode are the reporting of the selected text when I select or deselect something. Also, the ability to delete selection or cut it when I'm in an edit box. And also, I like the line navigation to be improved. Despite this, I still think that this mode is nice. It gives you the ability to navigate and select text easily and quickly, especially when you are familiar with the gestures. I'll go to the Jishuo settings to show you an option.
Main menu. Jishuo setting. Jishuo plus.
Operation settings.
No. Advanced set. No. Extend. Read. Operation settings. Operation settings.
Other settings.
Edge gesture setting. Shortcut. Alt. Click. Mode. Other set. Other settings. Other settings.
Then.
Shake. Shake set. Allow on. Disable custom gestures in character by character browsing mode checkbox checked.
By default, this is checked, and I recommend that it stays like this. If I uncheck this option, Jishuo will use some of my custom gestures if I'm using a custom gesture scheme in the character-by-character browsing mode, but this doesn't mean that I will be able to change the navigation gestures in the character-by-character browsing mode, and it may cause conflicts. So it's recommended to keep this option checked. The two last things I want to show you.
Operation settings.
This is the operation settings. I'll open character-by-character browsing mode.
Character by character browsing mode.
And I'll go to the end.
To end.
And I will try to move by words. It doesn't take me further, so it will not leave the focus. But if I try to move by character,
reading settings,
it took me to the other item.
Capital R.
And now
E.
I'm dealing with the other item. So if I go to the beginning,
the top. Capital R. E.
It's the reading settings. And again,
to end.
I move by line.
Notification reading settings.
It also took me to the other item. And if I double tap,
notification reading settings,
it opened the item, which is focused. And let's see if I'm still in the character-by-character browsing mode.
Character by character.
No.
Focused browsing.
So it exited the character-by-character browsing mode and reverted back to the focus mode. This was a quick look at the character-by-character browsing mode. I hope that it was clear. Thank you for listening.
Coming up next is the tip of the week. Stay tuned for tips, tricks and more about Android.
And we close this week with a tip from John Dyer. Our tip of the week is using the Google Reading Mode app in the background.
Hi, John here, and for this week's tip of the week, I'm going to be showing you that Google's Reading Mode app now supports background play, which is a big deal because this is the one shortcoming that it had when it was first released. So I'm just going to get right to it. I'm in the Google News app right now, and I'm going to open an article.
Google News. Google Assistant gains new Lime and Indigo voices. Play video.
So, if you'll recall from our initial demonstration, you can bring up reading mode by any of the accessibility shortcuts, whether it be a hardware button, a floating on-screen button, an on-screen button on the navigation bar, or the accessibility gesture. So I'm going to bring it up using the accessibility gesture.
Reading mode. Hide reading mode button.
And now this is the full text article with no images, no ads, or anything to get in the way. So you could use it with your screen reader, or you can hit the play button and have it read it back to you. So that's what I'm going to do.
Play button.
And after I hit the play button, I'm going to go to the home screen to show you that it will continue playing in the background.
Google Assistant gains new Lime and Indigo voices. Readers like you help support Android
Home.
Police.
News.
When you make a purchase using links on our site, we may earn an affiliate commission. Read more. Google Assistant is no longer Google's favorite.
So as you can see, it continued to play when I went to the home screen, so I was no longer in the reading mode overlay. And I was able to pause it using TalkBack's gestures, so you can now play and pause by double tapping with two fingers, just as if it were any other media file playing. So I'm going to use TalkBack's gesture to continue playback, and then I'm going to go to the notification shade to show you that you can also get to the controls there like you would any other type of music or podcast that you're listening to. And I'm going to pause it from there.
Favorite child. With AI being the current buzzword, the
Notification
company
shade.
is instead focusing on
502.
Google Bard and its
Page.
other efforts
Google
like
Assistant
generative
gains new
search.
Lime. This phone.
This also
Expand
means the virtual
button.
assistant
Previous
is not
sentence
receiving
button.
as
Pause
frequent
button.
feature additions and updates.
This phone.
So as you can see, there's a previous sentence button, and I hit the pause button. There's also a next sentence button if you want to control it from the notifications panel. I will continue the playback and turn off the screen just to show you that it will also play with the screen off, which is the best part of having background playback.
Updates as before, but Google has not entirely abandoned Assistant and has added 2 new voices. Google Assistant's new
5:03 p.m.
Lime and Indigo
Home.
voices are
New.
available for US.
So as you can see, it continued to play with the screen off, so you can turn the screen off to save power. You can listen to news articles in your headphones. It was mentioned in our full demonstration, but you can use reading mode in lots of different apps and web browsers, so you can have it play while your phone's in your pocket, even if you want to. For those full demonstrations that we've already released previously, you can just follow the links in the show notes or video description.
It is curtain drawing time, thus we come to the end of today's episode, and up next we give you information on how to get hold of us.
Austin, how can people get in touch with us?
To contact us, you can send an email to contactus@blindandroidusers.com. You can join our mailing list by sending an email to Blind Android Users plus subscribe at groups.io. You can join our Telegram, Facebook, Discord, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The links for everything will be at the bottom of the show notes and also in the video description of the YouTube channel. And also the links are in the websites panel of the YouTube channels.
That's it for this week, folks. Say bye-bye to the naughty listeners first, please, everybody.
Bye-bye, naughty listeners.
Bye-bye, naughty listeners.
Bye-bye, naughty listeners.
Bye, everybody.
Now you have to say bye-bye to the boring, nice listeners. I didn't mean that. Nice listeners. It's better to be nice.
It is. You could be
Bye-bye,
naughty and nice.
listeners. Yeah.
You could be naughty and nice, you know.
I think they're all nice. So bye.
Yeah, they're
guys.
very good
Whether you're
listening
naughty
to
or
us.
you're not or you're nice, bye. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, guys.
We do. We love you all.
Exactly.
And stay tuned to your YouTube channel.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Blind Android Users Podcast. Until we see you next week, don't forget to leave us your comments and suggestions via our email contact or using any of our social media sites. Have a great week.